Witches and any other person who has maybe randomly come about my channel. My name is Kaylina and this is the Magic Society, and today's video is going to be a little all over the place just because like I feel like there's been so many things that have just been happening lately, and I also want to touch on the book that I've been continuing to read, which is The Body Astrology by Claire Gallinger. And there's just like, I don't know, there's this whole, for me, like revelation happening in my life right now, which is really great. I feel like I'm kind of on a, just a high in life right now, which is wonderful, but that's also been like, I've been working with my energy and stuff as well, and just trying to work on vibrating on a higher frequency. Which the Body Astrology book has been helping me with that. There's a couple other books that I've already read that I'm looking back into just because I feel like all of it works so nicely together. Like you have the medical intuitive book, as well as like there's another book on Kundalini that I'll post both of them in there if you want to cross-reference those, because they work really well with astrology and just taking care of your body in general. And I feel like springtime is such a wonderful time to like reevaluate kind of what's working for you and what's not, as far as like your exercise regimen, your food regimen. And I can tell you, like, I am not one of those fitness gurus. Like I'm just not. There's a lot of times where I make bad food decisions, and I'm gonna be perfectly upfront and honest with that, you know. I am a sucker for tortilla chips, you know. And funny enough, it's Cinco de Mayo, so, you know, like I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to go get some tacos today, because, and like, I don't know, maybe a daiquiri, because that just sounds absolutely delicious, but we'll see, we'll see. We're trying to make good food decisions, and even though, I mean, I do feel like there are ways to make tacos healthier, but still, corn is pretty hard on the body, so, and I can't have flour shells because I'm gluten intolerant, so side tangent. Anywho, but I just wanted to talk about some stuff that's been going on right now as far as like correspondences that have been happening in my life, and also just feeling like the spirit activity is really high right now, which I found out, which I know this, but like the liminal seasons is when the veil gets thinner. And of course I always associate veil thinning towards Samhain, but I always tend to forget that it also happens during Beltane as well, and that spirit activity can all of a sudden get to be a lot more, and I'm finding that so much right now. And I feel like it's a lot of Fae energy for whatever reason. And it could be because just there's so many correspondences right now. It could be because there's tons of honeysuckle just everywhere right now, wherever I'm at. Like where I'm living in Excelsior, there's honeysuckle. At the park that I went to the other day, which I was called to go to because fortunately and unfortunately, I didn't have massages right away in the morning, so I was able to go on a nature walk, which I absolutely love, especially when it was kind of dewy right in the morning with the sun shining through the trees. Oh, just gorgeous. Like it just brings you into another like atmosphere, as if you've literally walked into a different dimension, because it's just ethereal in nature. And honeysuckle just growing everywhere. And it was funny because it was a Friday, which Friday is of course Venus and all about self-love, and I had also started Shark Week that day, which usually Shark Week is absolute hell for me. But I've been working a lot previously, like I said, with rising my vibration and trying to think more positive versus letting things get to me. Even if they're things that are just maybe inconveniences, I've been trying to kind of convince myself, okay, well, it just wasn't meant to happen that way, and it's meant to happen this way, and this is actually better because. And so rewiring my brain, because guys, I am one that I can sometimes just let things get to me. Like, you would think one would learn to let things roll off their shoulders, but I'm not always very good at that at all. Like, so, and it's hit and miss. Most of the time I'm fairly even keeled, but there are times where I'm just like, I let the stupidest things get the best of me. And so I'm really, really, really trying hard to kind of change that. And you may be asking, where is this coming from? Like, what, like, did anything compel you to do this? Yes, actually, I've been watching tons of podcasts that are kind of all around frequency and vibration and manifestation. And, you know, you see these people on here, and all these people are talking about how, you know, they've learned to rewire their brain to the more positive side of things, and then things just work out for them. And I've been told in numerous tarot readings that I need to just calm the fuck down, pretty much. Not in those direct words, but I need to let go of control more. And I totally agree with that, because I have found that in life, the areas that I have just kind of let go of control, things have worked so much better, and I'm a lot more carefree, I'm a lot more happy. I mean, it's not to say that one never worries, because there are things to worry about, but anytime the worry pops up, I just remind myself that it's okay, that I'm doing what I need to do to move forward in life in the areas that I would like to be successful in. And then the rest I'm just giving up to the universe and to my spirit guides, and we're taking a back seat for a little bit, you know? Like, we're just enjoying things more, you know, finding the pleasures in life, finding the happiness. And these videos have really, really been helpful in just helping me kind of rethink how I'm living my life. And of course, the Body Astrology book has really kicked me back into thinking about like what foods are better for my body, and what I can do to actually transform my body better. Because we're a lot better than what we used to be, but I'm still not to my goal yet. You know, it's a work in progress still. But I do find that springtime, obviously, it just is so much more motivating, you know, than say winter, when you just want to be a hibernating bear and you just want to snuggle up in those blankets and drink hot chocolate and read and watch Netflix and all the good stuff. So the motivation to move for some people is maybe a little bit lower. And I mean, ebbs and flows of the season, we're supposed to work with the seasons, but now that spring has sprung, like, I am just feeling so much more motivated. And I think it is like you bounce off the energies. And of course, outside, like, I want to spend every waking minute outside just because it's so gorgeous and the trees are in bloom and it just, nature is alive, and that kind of energy fuels me up, you know? And where was I going with this? Oh, also, so I find that it's helpful to kind of set a goal for yourself, or something that you're looking forward to, and kind of attribute your goals to that. So for instance, in August, I'm going to go see Matt Rife in Thackerville, Oklahoma, which is a funny story because he did come to Kansas City and I wanted to see him then, and that would have saved me a whole bunch of money. But at the time, we were in the process of selling our house and I didn't have any extra, you know, moolah with me. And so I had actually asked my now ex-husband, hey, can I borrow some money up front and then I'll just give you that part of the proceeds once we sell the house. And he told me, well, sometimes you just have to make sacrifices. And he told me no. And so I was like, this is really right coming from you, because he's one of those people where his mother literally pays for like everything for him. So I'm like, oh, okay. And I was not about to ask her for money. So even though she would have given it to me because she's just that kind of a person. But no, I was not going to do that because I am not going to use and abuse her like her son does. So anyway, everyone's evolving on their own path. Beside that though, like, I really wanted to go see Matt Rife. So the minute the house sold, I was like, fuck it, man. I'm getting these damn tickets and I'm going to go see him because I'm going to treat myself. So, but it's a good goal to set because it's in August, and so I have all through spring and summer to really focus on eating right, getting back into good exercise shape, just having more motivation and determination for my body and my self-care, because it really is important. It really is just taking care of your body, and so many of us forget to do it. Like, it's just so easy with the way society is set up today. It literally kind of sets you up to fail. We're just meant to do, you know, or society tells us 9-to-5 jobs, you know, come home, take care of the 3, 4, 5, 12 children, you know, make the spouse happy. You know, it's just an endless supply of water leaving our cup, and then we're just left empty and exhausted at the end of the day. And I think it's just so important to find balance in life. You know, it's not to say we just lounge around and always have a great time, because this is still the human experience that we're living in. There are still responsibilities that we have, but where can we be more comfortable in life? Where can we be like, okay, I can say no to this confidently, because I know that it's just going to drain my battery, and maybe I don't have enough energy to give out to do this said thing, you know, and not feel guilty about it. I think so often we've just been programmed to never say no to anything, and it's exhausting. And so just, yeah. But anyway, I was going back to the forest and all the honeysuckle. So I didn't realize it was honeysuckle that was growing there, but I looked it up because, I mean, it was just literally everywhere. And I was like, what is this? And it was honeysuckle. And I love honeysuckle. Like, I love the smell of it. It's just so light, and I mean, it represents a lot of good things in magic, which is funny because, of course, represents like happiness and love and stuff like that, which on a Friday, that was a quinky dink because, like I said, I started Shark Week, so I had done some sigils on as far as like feeling sexy still, because women, you know, anyone who has a uterus, you know, when Shark Week comes, you're just a little bit fuller than normal, and you just don't always feel your best, and that's pretty common most of the time for women. But I was doing sigil work and I was doing self-care work, and I'm gonna tell you what, my period cramps were not as bad as usual. I don't call it placebo effect, but period cramps weren't as bad. I still felt just like confident and good, even though, you know, I looked a little bit fuller than normal. And so that was really cool. And so I just found the connections really funny and not at all a coincidence anymore. Coincidences, that's a thing of the past for me. But the fact that it was a Friday, it was the day of love, and then honeysuckle represented love. And then also, honeysuckle represents, like, helps with money magic too. And I've been working really hard with my money bowl. Not asking for grandiose amounts of money, but just asking for a constant cash flow and, you know, just comfortable stability in my financial situation, especially since I stopped doing my second job just because of car issues, and I was spending so much money in gas every month, it wasn't even worth it. So that source of income, although it wasn't bringing in a lot in the grand picture, I still don't have that now. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna be fine though, because we're riding the carefree train right now, and you know, things are gonna fall into place and things are gonna go good. So, but honeysuckle helps with money, and so of course I had worked with my money bowl on Thursday and then charged my green aventurine owl and wore that around all day. And then it's so funny because then later that day, after going to the park and stuff, at the end of the day, my boss texted me about picking up some hours at work, which I was all down for because that brings in more money, obviously. And then she also texted me, well, come to the front because you've got like 3 tips up here. I'm like, yes, see, like it works, guys. It really works. Like, and I don't even do anything crazy with my money bowl. I really don't. I literally sit with the singing bowl that I have. I try to contribute just a little bit of money into it every week. And then I'll use different herbs such as patchouli, cinnamon. I've been doing like eggshells because of the prosperity and just adding that fertility of growth and stability into my life. And then I meditate with it. Literally just meditate. I was listening to 432 Hertz, I think, which is supposed to be like good money vibes, I guess. And then just sat there and did affirmations of positivity towards financials and stability and towards me and just the flow of money. And then just closed my eyes and pictured it radiating out into the world, into different corners of my life. And so yeah, that's really it. And it's, I guess I'm just telling you this because correspondences are real and they do happen. And when you start noticing them, you can really start connecting the dots a lot better in your life and kind of understand maybe where you're supposed to be going or what you're supposed to be doing. And it's a really cool feeling. So yeah, the honeysuckle definitely, I just found it funny because it's not like an in-your-face kind of energy, although it can be quite invasive out in nature. Like it can kind of overcrowd areas if you allow it to. But the energy to me feels more like genuine and sweet, and it literally is all about like pleasure, permanence, like if you want something to be more permanent, happiness, money, protection even, especially with the berries. Like never eat the berries. You can eat the flower and the leaves and the stems, but don't eat the berries. Very toxic. And even with the other stuff, except for the flowers, maybe be a little cautious with. I am not a doctor, so I cannot give you medical advice if, you know, you eat something you're not supposed to. So please don't do that. But yeah, cool plant. Like really just, it's such a happy plant. Such a happy plant. And so, but anyway, I am starting to, so another reason why it occurred to me that the veil is thinning again is because I have been having some really interesting dreams lately, and not great dreams to be quite frank. I got smothered in my dream the other night. It was probably about a week ago, and then a week before that so it was the weirdest thing. It was actually like physical pain in the dream that then manifested into reality, which I've never had that happen before. So anyone who's an expert in dreams or whatever, or spirits and how they can manipulate physical pain, that would be helpful. Like, that'd be helpful to know, because I've been looking things up everywhere and I haven't really found anything other than the fact that Saturn is in Pisces right now, which that is my, what's the term they say? Returning. Like, whenever you were born, whatever sign, like, the planet was in, it can involve, like, some hard lessons that you're kind of turning over a new leaf, that you finally learned some lessons and that you're moving forward. But Saturn's been in Pisces since, I want to say, like, 2023 or something like that. So it's been in there for a hot minute, but Saturn obviously rules kind of more of the discipline and more of the harder lessons in life, and Pisces is the dreamer, you know, so dreaming can kind of correlate with Pisces. So maybe my dreams are trying to tell me to let go of some stuff, or that I feel stuck in certain aspects of my life, because that can sometimes be why a spirit will come into your dream, is to represent something from your past that you need to let go of. And of course, being choked or smothered means you could feel like stuck in your life. But this just, and there, I mean, yes, there are things I'm working on that I'm still letting go of as far as like my past. But this was different. This was like something, but it wasn't the traditional like sleep paralysis, hag sitting on you, that kind of thing. This was different. This was like, I was literally, well, the first go around, I had somehow gotten pulled into doing this ritual with this group of people. And I wasn't totally like, yeah, let's do it kind of thing. I just was kind of like, okay, I guess we're going along with this. And they were summoning something not so nice from the ground, and these like goblin type, dementor type things with these long spiderly claws like were chasing me. And I felt this really bad, like pulsating pain, as if they were like trying to take something out of my body. And it was like, I can't even totally describe it, but like this vibrational pain, like pulsing and in my low back. And so that wasn't great. Woke myself up from that one. And then literally like a week later, had another dream where this spirit was like rushing around me so fast that its essence was like black and red, and it was just going around me so fast it was like smothering me, like I couldn't breathe. And then it was also pulsating that same exact pain through my back, but it was even more intense. It was so intense that when I woke up, I literally felt back pain in that same spot, like that same feeling, like as if it was fading away gently, like but it was still there. So I'm like, how the heck can a dream turn into reality like that? It was very bizarre and very scary. And I remember in the dream trying to reach behind me to like get the spirit off of me, and I felt like this gooey, like fleshy feel. Very strange, very weird, do not recommend. And then, funny enough, like the next couple days, my friend texts me and tells me his mom had a sleep paralysis episode where she was being choked to death by a spirit. So then I was like, okay, what is going on? And so trying to research stuff, found not a lot. And then, but then I realized that, yeah, we're in Beltane, and so the veil is thinner, and so maybe spirits are just able to come through to us a little bit stronger. I'm not really sure. So if anyone else has information on that, that would be greatly appreciated, because I'm at a loss. And now I'm just like every night, please spirit guides, you know, protect me from anything that's trying to come at me, because I've never felt anything like that ever. And I have pretty intense dreams. Like I just naturally get pretty intense dreams, but nothing that has manifested in the physical like that. But like I said, I feel like there's a lot of fae energy right now, especially around my mom's house. I think the fae are, they kind of like to mess with her a little bit. Like she has a forest behind her house, and it is seriously like the most magical forest. It just comes to absolute life. Like you can just feel all the energies of nature, and it's beautiful. But I do think there's a lot of fae that are there, and a lot of them I think are very sweet and kind. Like she's got all the hummingbirds and stuff like that, and I definitely feel like in a sense hummingbirds are like little fae, whether that's like true factual knowledge or not, but I always kind of associate them with the fae. And so they're always around, and they're darling. They're just darling. I love hummingbirds to death. Love them. But she's been telling me that she's been seeing things out of the corner of her eyes a lot, like kind of just zipping around. And I 100% agree with that, because I've been seeing the same thing. Just a lot of things out of my parenthals just darting around, like just busy little energies everywhere, which is, you know, fine, but I'm just like, they are in full force right now. I don't know what's going on. And then, so I feel like they're messing with us a little bit, because this was really weird. So we went to a couple antique stores, which a couple different experiences with the antique stores. So, today's Sunday. So yesterday morning, I was flipping through my grimoire, and I was like, okay. And I came across my fox spirit. And I was thinking to myself, I haven't really felt her presence recently. So I'm like, I just sent a mental thing out into the atmosphere of, hey, are you still with me? Have you, kind of moved on from me? Am I meant to be working with other animal spirits now? And I kid you not, the minute we stepped into these two antique stores, I saw fox stuff everywhere. And most of it was like fox art, but it was literally all over the place, just fox art. And I told my mom that, and then we walk into this one booth, and it pretty much has like hardly anything in it except for this huge mural of these two foxes. And I'm just like, okay, you're still with me. That makes me really happy. Thank you. So she 100% like went balls to the wall showing me that she's still around, which is really cool. And so I'm gonna make sure I kind of reassociate kind of what it is she's helping me with, which I think she's helping me with like creativity and so yeah. But anyway, so there's that. And then as we were walking, I literally felt a tug on my shirt. And at first I thought there was a fan that was sitting in one of the booths. And I thought it was one of the moving ones that go back and forth. So I was like, oh, okay, it was that. It was just the air. But then I noticed that the fan was actually facing like opposite for me, so it wouldn't have been hitting me, and it didn't move. So I was like, oh, never mind. And there was nobody around me. My mom was the only one in front of me, but I literally felt as if someone grabbed my shirt and just like tugged me back a little bit. And then another weird thing was that like right after that, my mom gets this phone call from the jail prison that's in the same city as the Missouri State Penitentiary, which funny enough, we've been there. I don't think maybe necessarily that had anything to do with it because we've not been there for a hot minute. But yeah, so then she's calling all of our family members, making sure that nothing like happened, because I mean, my family members, we aren't into any real mischief like that. We shouldn't be landing ourselves in jail. But it was weird. It was so weird, just the events happening like that. And of course everybody was fine. Nobody's in prison, no one's in jail, thank goodness. But yeah, literally felt someone tug me. And so it's just, there's a lot of energy right now. And a lot of it's good, and I think some of it's just like kind of playful. Like they think it's kind of a funny joke. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess, ha ha ha, so funny. But yeah. So just a lot of little like correspondences going back to back to back. And but I'm going to take you here in the kitchen for a minute because I want to show you some of the food and stuff that I got, because I want to start doing more like real fruit smoothies and carrots and stuff. And I want to make my own ranch dressing, because for the life of me, I cannot find a single ranch dressing in like the entire universe that isn't filled with soy, and soy don't get along with me like at all. So we're not doing soy anymore. It's not making my stomach happy. But that means I'm probably going to have to make my own, unless I want to pay like $8 for a tiny little jar of ranch dressing. So, because I literally found one brand that didn't have it in it, but it was a small bottle and it was like $8. I'm like, okay, my wallet's not quite that good, guys. Like, I'm willing to change some of my eating habits. I'm willing to spend a little extra to, you know, get good food again, but we've got to draw the line somewhere. And I mean, just to buy like the ingredients would be a lot cheaper and do it that way, because I want ranch to dip my carrots in, because I'm one of those people that literally puts ranch on everything, because I'm that weirdo that thinks it's delicious and wants to smother it onto everything she consumes. Yeah, but let's go to the kitchen really quick. Also, gotta represent KC. My mom got me this shirt from Charlie Hustle the other day, and I think it's really cute. So, gotta love Kansas City. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is a drink thing that I'm hopefully gonna start drinking in the mornings that might help kind of de-inflame my stomach, get things kind of working for the day, and that is going to be this lemon cucumber water that I infused with. And right now I currently don't have a water filter, and I don't want to keep buying bottled water because that's bad for the environment. But we're gonna start drinking that in the morning, hoping that it'll kind of flush out my system. And I am so bad at drinking water. I need to be better, I really do. But the problem is, if I drink too much water, then obviously what do? You have to pee all the time, which isn't great with my job as a massage therapist, because you can't exactly tell your client in the middle of the service, oh hey, hold on a second, I know you only get a 15-minute massage anyway, but I've got to take 5 minutes of that to go to the bathroom, and I can't add on extra time at the end. Kind of doesn't work for people. So I almost feel like I'm restraining drinking too much, like at all in the mornings, like literally to the point of almost drinking nothing, which is really bad for you. Do not do that. But I need to learn how to just start sipping some water throughout the massage. That way by the end, I maybe need to go, but it's not like desperate. And that's TMI. You don't need to know that, but yeah, that's my game plan. But also, I have a farmer's market that's fairly close to me, and I adore farmers markets. Like, you literally get to support local farmers. You get so much better fresh food. And I'm telling you, if you just like sit there and walk around a farmer's market, you can just sense like the absolute purity of the energy from the foods. Like, they're just radiating their best cycle. And it's so much different compared to like other just supermarket foods where you know that they've had a long ass haul to get here and they're just not at their freshest, and it makes a huge difference. So anytime you can buy local, honestly, there's so many benefits to that anyway. But yeah, so my fridge is going to start looking a lot better with more fresh foods. And for starters, look at these mangoes. I love mango, not just to eat mango on its own because I find it a little bit bitter, but like to put in smoothies and stuff. Mango smoothies are like my favorite. And then cantaloupe, of course. I got these like better fruit juices from Natural Grocers. Just more like pure fruit juice. My almond milk, obviously. And then, okay, I've got to show you these strawberries. Like, they look so fresh and so clean. And they even like smell amazing. Like, no joke. Just some better sour cream and some better yogurt. And then look at how vibrant these are too. Like, just, you can tell the difference. Some carrots. Don't make an inappropriate joke. I know who you are. Actually, making an inappropriate joke, I don't care. But anywho, that is what we're going to do to start eating better. And I'm just August, that's all I'm saying. August and beyond. But with me, like, I kind of need to set a goal. Like, I need something to be looking forward to keep myself motivated. And yeah, Matt Rife will do it for you. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to say to you guys. Other than, yeah, just start paying attention to correspondences, because they have literally been all around me right now. And just the raising of the vibration. And oh, I was gonna grab those couple books also that I wanted to share with you. So I will be right back. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I wanted to share a couple books with you that I really, really enjoyed. Just because I think they partner so well with a body astrology book. All of it deals with, you know, like the energies, chakras, kundalini, within all of that, as well as tapping into like spell work and how you can better use, you know, the planetary alignments and what planets are good to use what days and all that stuff, like a combined effort. So it's combining the physical and the spirituality together to just make this epic, powerful manifestation, spell, whatever you want to call it. So like I said, reading the Body Astrology book by Claire Gallagher, this is what it looks like. This is the one I'm still making my way, you know, towards the end here, but that's kind of the one I'm reading right now, so it's like what I'm basing these future videos off of. But other like really good books to pair it with is The Psychic Witch by Matt Oren. Like, this is so great. Like, and it's been a little bit since I've read this one, but I definitely wouldn't mind going back and looking at these tabs and just rereading some of it, because it has lots of helpful information just about, you know, the different levels of ourselves, you know, the high, middle, and low, shadow, true will of God, and, you know, our consciousness, and as well as looking at some of the planetary stuff as well, and just really breaking it down into easy, digestible, you know, pieces. And just a lot of really good advice and really good learning material. And this definitely has like the more of like the witchy style to it versus like pure astrology or pure whatever, which all of it to me is witchy, but maybe not everyone feels that way. Another one that I absolutely love is Kundalini and the Chakras by Genevieve Lewis Paulson. This is a really cool book too. Like, just really breaks down the chakras and the different points of the body regarding certain areas and what they mean and how to balance them and how to like open up that energy so that you are receiving from higher up and, you know, your true self and your higher self and your spirit guides and all that stuff, and just raising that vibration to get to that point. And of course, you know, aura and all of that, like it all works together. And so this book I definitely recommend as well. And then this other one I absolutely love, like cannot just, if I could become a medical intuitive, that's like the goal. That is the goal as far as like the massage therapy world. Like, I love massage therapy, don't get me wrong, but like I feel like there's so much more I could bring to the table if I could be able to kind of like read people even better. Like, we can do it a little bit, but nowhere near where I would like to be. So Develop Your Medical Intuition by Sherry Dillard. This is such a cool book. Like, so much in this book that you could reference and learn. Like, I learned so much in such like a short amount of time of reading this book. Definitely talks about chakras, talks about scanning the body, learning to read your aura. Like, this one I think has just this like great way of how we can take the physical and how we can like feel things in our energy field and how it can be attributed to physical illness. Like, it blows my mind. But love this book. Highly, highly, highly recommend this book. Even if you don't want to be like a medical intuitive, this will just help you in everyday life, because you'll just be able to kind of learn how to scan the human body and just understand where the energy is at and, you know, where the spaces are blocked. And I can't remember if I've mentioned already, because I actually am having to refilm this part of the video because my battery died. Shocker. That must mean I'm blabbing for way too long. But I was mentioning maybe thinking about going to see like a Reiki specialist. Just someone who, because sometimes I feel like it's almost easier to read someone else than it is to read myself. Because the brain likes to get in the way, and like emotions and things sometimes likes to get in the way of like what is truly going on. So for someone outside of myself that doesn't know me, who can maybe hear the guides clearer than I can sense the energy stronger than I can, it might be helpful to go see someone like that. Or at least that's what I'm feeling like right now, just because I know there are certain areas that are blocked, because I feel like I'm on the verge of just growing more, which, I mean, that's what we're all down here to do, is evolve and grow. And I think like we're right there. Like, we're right on the cusp of something new, something greater, something more advanced, but there's something blocking it. And it's one of my chakras, and I have a feeling it's my sacral chakra. It's just blocked, and I'm working with it right now, but it would be nice to get someone else's kind of viewpoint on it, someone who's been doing energy stuff a lot longer, because like I know energy stuff in the form of like witchcraft and stuff, but I don't have all of like the Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, all these like Eastern practices, I don't have the amount of knowledge that it takes to like super deep dive into it. I want to. I'm going to continue to learn. Like, I love the associations of the human body chakra system mixed with the astrology, and I think it's like a really good combination together. But there's something not quite there yet. There's something that's just sort of preventing me from going all the way. And I can't get out of my own head long enough to figure out what it is, if that makes any sense. So, and now that I don't have that second job, my afternoons will be a lot more open, so I could probably schedule something fairly easily. And I would just be interested to see what she has to say. Like, I would just be really, really curious to know. And it'd be really cool if she would let me like film it, because then I would have like something that I could keep, as well as something I could share with you too. And we're just gonna continue to go along and document where I'm going from here, because I feel like something's coming, like something good is coming. It's good energy. And that could just be the high of life right now, I don't know. And it's not to say that everything in life is perfect, but I just have a better attitude about it. But I do feel like my sacral chakra is blocked. I feel like my heart chakra is still kind of a little bit bitter in places. And why does it seem so hard to like just let go of like past crap? You know, it's in the past, it happened. Why is it so hard to just like move on, you know? Like, you say it and you like want it, but yet there's still things, and I think it's still like a process of when you go through something hard, its natural instinct is to be kind of angry about it. And then you it's almost like you have to relive some of the stuff again so that you can take a different, more uplifting, positive perspective on it. And like the emotions just keep coming back until you're finally able to just release it for what it is and be like, no, we're not going to continue to be angry about it. We're just going to let it go, forgive what needs to be forgiven. It doesn't mean you know, have to be, you don't want to like dive back into that kind of situation again. Like, you want to learn from whatever didn't go the way it was supposed to, and then take that as a lesson moving forward. But I just feel like the universe is like, you're still just holding so much like anger towards, you know, certain things, that we're just gonna keep bringing up these emotions until you finally learn to just be like, it's done. Like, we're not holding on to this with such like hatred anymore, you know, if that makes any sense at all. But anyway, this is not only like just like kind of a self-reflection for me too right now, because I'm telling you, these videos that I'm watching are doing something to me. And I'll list the names of like the people that do the videos. A couple were just really cool podcasts with just vast amounts of knowledgeable people speaking on different topics. It's fascinating, and I feel like I'm just learning so much. Like, I'm very much in a space right now where I'm just consuming like a lot of information, and I'm trying to learn a whole bunch, and but also at the same time really implementing it into my life too. Because it's one thing to learn something, but if you never do anything with it, you're still gonna stay stuck in the same spot. So actually trying to implement the things that I'm learning, and it really is like it changes your mindset. It really, really, really does. And I'm hoping to ride this wave for a long time, because I am enjoying it right now. But that is all I have for you today. If you like the videos, be sure to press the like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and as always, stay kind, be curious, and always speak your truth. I will see you next time for another video. Toodaloo.